Hello and welcome back to another Warcraft lore video. This time we're going to be having a bit of a chat about Galakrond. And Galakrond is definitely a very interesting fellow. He was the largest of the Proto Dragons and is actually a very important character when you get right down to it, and his role in the actual creation of the dragon aspects. So, let's go back in time quite a while. Not exactly sure how far back in time this occurs, but let's just say a very long time ago. And at this time, there were no dragons. There were only Proto Dragons, and the story of Galakrond takes place in Northrend. So what is a Proto Dragon? Well, it's basically what you saw in Northrend, those things that are not, they're not really akin to the traditional fantasy dragons that we're used to. They're less evolved, they're less intelligent, etc. And at this time, they were far less evolved. They were basically animals. All they really cared about, for the most part, was eating, sleeping, and reproducing, and the usual animalistic style things. However, one of these proto-dragons was very good at killing things, and that was Galakrond. And because he was very good at killing things, he ate a lot, and because he ate a lot, he got very big, and as he got larger, his appetite grew and grew and grew, to the point where his hunger just could not be fulfilled. As time went on, the amount of prey around his area just began to dwindle in numbers, simply because he ate them all. This was, of course, quite a problem for the guy, but the problem, the main sort of bad thing that he did, is that he started hunting down and eating the smaller proto-dragons, which, of course, is very bad, and according to the book Dawn of the Aspect, this actually corrupted his essence, which made his body grow even larger, and also it got all kind of like twisted and malformed. And things actually got so bad with his corruption that the corpses of the proto-dragons, which he ate, would rise up from the dead. I think he puked them out, and then they rise up from the dead and start hunting the living proto-drakes. Eventually, a bunch of the proto-dragons did try to take on Galakrond, but it didn't really work, and a great deal of them were killed. And that basically nearly led to the extinction of their race. However, things would change with the appearance of Tyr, who is one of the Titan Watchers from Ulduar. So Tyr noticed that, of course, Galakrond is actually becoming a very large problem to the world, and therefore that he's really something that the Titans, or at least the Titan Watchers, should deal with. Then he also noticed that a few of the Proto-Dragons were quite a bit more intelligent and cognitively involved than the others. So he decided to reach out to these guys, and they are people who, well, not people, they're dragons, who we kind of know. Alexstrasza, Ysera, Malygos, Neltharion, and Nozdrunu. So he didn't raise them up to dragon form initially. That was actually a reward for killing Galakrond. So Tyr met up, he communicated with them, and he said, right, look, we need to kill Galakrond, I'm very powerful, you guys are very powerful, let's team up. And round one didn't particularly go too well. Essentially, Tyr had this artifact and he was going to use it to kill Galakrond, but Tyr got his arm or his hand even bitten off. Not too good. However, round two fared quite a bit better. They decided to go with a more traditional strategy in which everyone involved, so Tyr and the Proto-Dragons that we know of, they all used their strengths. So the strengths of the dragons, Alexstrasza was a natural leader, Ysera was very creative and she could think up plans and things that other people couldn't. Malygos was he was just very intelligent, so a very handy thing to have. And then Nozdrunu was very punctual and very good with timing and various things like that. And then Neltharion, I'm pretty sure he was just very good at hunting things. So, using all these, combined powers, they were able to kill Galakrond. And that is the end of Galakrond's story. So while he is often called the father of the Proto-Drakes, or Proto-Dragons, or just dragons, he's really not. He was just a very large Proto-Dragon that got far too powerful, far too evil, and had to be killed. But you're probably wondering, I've been talking about Proto-Dragons this entire time, and Proto means before, so before dragons. What about dragons? Well, Tyr recognized that these Proto-Dragons, and Ysera, Malygos, Neltharion, and friends, were very powerful, and they also were kind of doing it for the right reasons. They were about to sacrifice themselves to protect the world and that kind of thing. So he decided that they were very responsible individuals. And for this, he said that, right, guys, do you want to become dragon aspects? We'll make you immortal, we'll make you very powerful, but the catch is you have to protect the world. And they all agreed. Of course, Tyr couldn't really do this himself because he was only a Titan Watcher, he was just a construct. But what he actually did is that he summoned the Titans down, and the Titans gave the dragons new powers, elevated them up, and from what we know, these guys were the first 5 dragons to be elevated from being a Proto Dragon. And that's essentially how the story goes. So, Galakrond got big, he got evil, a Titan Watcher teamed up with some of the smarter Proto Dragons, they all killed him. As a reward, the smarter Proto Dragons get elevated to full-on dragon aspects, and they agree to protect the world. That is basically the story. One interesting thing, though, is that Tyr was able to summon down the Titans. Well, couldn't Radan have done that, and some of the various other Titan Watchers? We don't know, really, what's going on with the Titans, that's the bottom line. They seem to have went silent in recent years, so there definitely is going to be a very interesting story in relation to them at some point. Anyway, until then, that is the end of this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.